I'd like to thank Carl Falk for sitting in last week, and this week sitting in for Tariq Spence, we have the great Greg Keagle, our 3-year Major League veteran from the late 90s to the Detroit Tigers out of Horseheads, the pitching coach at RIT.
Yep.
What's new, my friend?
Nothing. We are enjoying this nice weather and just excited to be back. Appreciate it.
It's sort of proof that we're sort of back to normal now, you know? We're back in the studio and bring back some of the guys that we've really missed over the past couple of years.
Well, I always like coming here, and you guys are great to talk sports with. And the great part, I appreciate the moniker of great. I might be Pat's gonna
You made the majors, man. You can't
that.
Apologize to nobody.
No, that's true. That's a good point. That's you sound like my mother now. That's what she says. Stop apologizing.
Well, look, we wanted to because I don't think I'd ever asked you. I did a deep dive on your career, so looked at some of the numbers. The number of ball players you hit with pitches and all the rest of that kind of cool stuff.
Yeah,
Have you got like a standout? Is there something that happened that said, I did this?
Well, I got two stories, because I got a minor league story that sort of, I'd say, kind of put me on the map, and then in a major league story, it just happened a little differently. So in the minor leagues, we had an incident at the plate. Someone got hit. It was a rough play. My catcher was a gentleman from Louisiana, and all I heard was, he's asking, "Where's Keagle at? Where's Keagle?" In his deep Louisiana voice, he says, "I want you to hit this next guy dead in the head." Dead in the head, he says. And of course, coming from college ball, you couldn't do that, right? You throw at somebody, you get thrown out of the game. I'm thinking, this is old school baseball. I better protect my teammates. So certainly next pitch was low, but I hit the guy in the back and the benches cleared. I got thrown out of the game. My nerves were on my career. Did I do something wrong? My coach reacted great. He was, I was the hero of the team, right? I defended my team. So that gave me, confidence to know that my attitude towards team first, let's play together, let's do everything together. That's what they're looking for. I got to the big leagues. We had a situation in Kansas City. I threw a pitch to Joe Vitiello, a 2-0 pitch, and he hit it up into the waterfalls. And the next pitch, I ended up hitting the next guy. I didn't do it on purpose, but we ended up having an entire breakdown on when and where you're supposed to hit a guy in the big leagues. So my introduction to defending your teammates in one section and then, defending my own turf on another was a completely different scenario.
But your stats would have told your management. It says, "Hey, look, it's totally accidental. Have you seen how many guys I walk?"
That's right. Oh, they knew that control was the issue. Let's put it that way. Obviously, when you're in the big leagues, they expect you to be able to throw strikes. I remember throwing a pitch to Carlos Baerga. I had faced Cleveland, earlier in spring training. I gave up 7 runs on, literally faced 7 guys. I think I threw 11 pitches. The last pitch was a 3-run home run to Baerga. So I'm facing him in Cleveland. We're in the season, and I throw a 1-0 pitch, and I throw it behind him, and it bounces, and he looks out, mumbles something in Spanish. I'm sure it was some pleasantry that I couldn't decipher. But the next pitch, for me, my changeup was the pitch I had confidence in. It was a pitch I knew I could throw down the middle, even in the big leagues, and I had a chance to get it out with. So I threw a 2-0 changeup on the black, and if you're going to throw a 2-0 changeup on the black, they pretty much feel like the fastball might have been on purpose, even though, to your point, it was not on purpose. I had at times lost a little command in my early years.
I hadn't intended for this segment to kind of go this way, but this is such interesting stuff. You got something you want to ask him?
No, look, I'll be honest with you. I would start with my baseball stories, but I want to show you up with all the things that I was able to do athletically when I was a kid. No, it's amazing. I do find it interesting, that transition from A to AA to AAA to Major League Baseball, right? Like in a matter of 3 years, you're playing with guys that are going to disappear to guys that you were watching growing up, right? Like there had to be that moment where it's like, whoa, oh my God, I'm standing in front of this person here.
That's 100%. And that was probably the toughest, and they say it is the toughest jump to make, right? It's from AAA to the big leagues, because you're now playing in front of your idols. You're playing in front of guys you've watched on TV. So yeah, I remember, for me, the kind of aha moment that I made it to the big leagues took me 3 years. I remember pitching against Oakland. I was throwing a pretty good game. And literally, like I said, it was my 3rd year, 98. And I remember walking around and I realized, I was in the big leagues, and I was a big leaguer to that point. So it took me a long time.
That got into the batter's box and said, like, "Oh my God, I'm facing," who was the guy?
Oh, for me, when I would say it was probably Albert Bell. He was just mean, like he swung an angry bat. He had bad intentions. He was having, at that point it was the, pinnacle of his career. Cleveland, as I said, they were our Cross Lake rival. So not only do you have an angry man that is literally, one false look away from charging at you.
You pitch him tight? Did you come inside?
I will say, I never changed the way I pitched just because who was in there. If I had to go in, I went in. There's no doubt. That's, I wouldn't have gotten to the big leagues if I didn't pitch that way.
Stories from the great Greg Keagle. 3 years with the Detroit Tigers in the 90s.